Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's Lean In program. I'm Michael Linke, and on behalf of the Australian Institute of Architects, it's fantastic to have you with me back again. Today, we focus on member rewards. As you know, Institute members have access to a wide range of exclusively negotiated discounts from a number of providers and suppliers that really try and assist you on a daily basis. And today, we're really proud to introduce Landchecker, a brand new member rewards program, and they're a cloud-based software solution that provides an all-in-one source of property information in a very fast, intuitive, map-based experience. Landchecker is used by thousands of property professionals and architects every day throughout Victoria, throughout New South Wales, and very soon expanding into Queensland as well. So today, our session showcases on how Landchecker works, how it can assist your practice, and how you can access an exclusive 14-day free trial as an exclusive member. So today we welcome Will Leaf. Will is Landchecker's co-founder. He's also managing director of Hewitt Leaf Architects. And we also welcome today Sarah Gandolfo, who's Landchecker's business development manager. And they're going to demonstrate the program and show you the benefits of this unique software, Landchecker. So first of all, I'd like to bring to the program and welcome to the program Sarah Gandolfo again, Landchecker's business development manager. She joins me now live from Melbourne. How are you, Sarah?
Well, thank you, Michael. And how are you?
Yeah, great. Over to you.
Thank you. And hello to all the members. I'm going to provide you with a really quick overview of the Landchecker application. If you would like a more tailored demonstration or a more in-depth demonstration, please reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to do that at another time. So I'm going to put myself in the shoes of an architect. So you've been asked to submit a proposal for a property. I'm going to demonstrate how you can use Landchecker as an all-in-one source of property information to undertake your initial due diligence in 5 minutes. Let's look up the 5 houses currently used on the very popular TV show, The Block. So I just type in the address details here. As you can see, you're taken directly to the property. The site boundaries and dimensions are shown, and a panel opens up on the right-hand side that presents information relevant to that property. So here you can check information such as the approximate land size, the sale history. You can see the most recent sale price for the block was 14.96 million. You scroll down a little bit further, you can see the planning information. I'll just click on the planning zone. All these links are dynamic and take you straight through to the zoning schedules. Go back here. Scroll a little bit further down, you can see that we've got planning permit information here. There was an approved planning permit for this site on the 15th of November for the 5-lot subdivision that the 5 houses currently sit on. I can click right here. I can show you the planning history of the subject property. If you'd like to send all this information summarised in this panel to a client, you can download a property report here. So this report provides a summary of all the relevant information on this property in a very neat looking PDF. It can be emailed in PDF format by clicking on this button, and you can also white label your company logo or branding here. Go back to our map. The Landchecker map is extremely interactive, so you can move around and click on a property to view the relevant property information. To provide you with more context on the property and its location, you can use the distance to tools here. So in a matter of seconds, I can set it to walking, 15 minutes, submit. And you can see that this property is within a 15-minute walk to Brighton Beach. You may also want to have a look at the Google Street View. I can scroll around here and see there's a medical centre across the road, and the surrounding properties are predominantly residential. I can also go down here and change my map type and turn on our high resolution aerial imagery overlay. Our high resolution aerial imagery is provided by Aerometrics. They've been operating since the 1980s, so there's a really extensive library of historical imagery. It's updated approximately 4 times a year in metropolitan areas. If we go down here, down to the bottom of the screen where my cursor is, and have a look at our historical library, you can see here in April 2020, the block houses are well on their way to completion. April was the last take in Brighton. However, there will be a new take ingested into the platform within weeks for this area. I'll just scroll back here through the library. You can see in February, the houses were half complete. If I go back a little bit further, in December, there was some site preparation works being undertaken, and I'll just skip a few back and go to October. The site was vacant. I'll go way back here, and you can see in November 2009, there was a dwelling of some sorts on the subject property. Aerometrics takes these photos from flying planes at low altitude, so they're 6 times higher resolution than the best available satellite image. You can also export these files here. There's an option to export a georeferenced image to import into a CAD or BIM package. There are also a number of measurement tools, so you may want to use the distance tool to measure setback or distance to the closest crossover. I'll just quickly show you the area, one of the area tools as well, just to show you how intuitive this is and how quickly you can obtain an area. There you go. So when looking at property information, you may also want to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. All these toggles on the left-hand side down here can be turned on and off to provide you with further insight into the subject property and the surrounding area. So I'll just quickly show you, you can turn on planning zones and off overlays. I can see here there is a heritage overlay adjacent to the subject property of the block. Scroll down, cultural sensitivity. I might need to zoom out a little bit to see where it intercepts. Zoom back into our block. Topography, Brighton's relatively flat, so the contour lines are quite far apart, and digitised easements, which I'll zoom out to show you. The next layer down are our planning permits. Sorry, I'll just turn our easements off. Moving back there. Planning permits, so if I click these on, our planning permit overlay operates using a traffic light system. So you can see all, I'll just reset this. So there is green for approved, amber for pending, and red for rejected. Having this permit information all in one place rather than needing to go to the local council websites can save you a lot of time. It's one of our most popular features in our application. You just hover over the planning permits to see the latest planning activity on the property, and you can click here to see the history. Our architect clients also find these filters over here really useful when looking for planning permit precedents. So I'll just quickly run a filter here. So date received, last 12 months. Sorry, I've reset it rather than submit it. You can see here, if I zoom out, this will show you all the approved planning permits within the area in the last 6 months. This gives you a really quick snapshot of the most recent planning permits approved in this local area. It's particularly useful if you're working in an area that you're unfamiliar with. So I'll just turn our planning permits on. Might go back to our block site. I'll go over here and change our base map back to the cadastre. We also have a whole lot of other layers which you can use to build your map. I won't go into too much detail on these, however, I just want to show you one thing. So by turning on our amenities, you can see here there's a bus stop right outside the subject property. If I zoom out and pan around a little bit, I can see there's some restaurants down here. Zoom across and I can see the closest local retail shopping strip is Bay Street, Brighton, and the North Brighton railway station is within close proximity to the subject property. Often the final step after you've gathered all the information is to get a copy of the title or plan. You can do this by clicking on a property, and as you can see, this is really seamless. I just click here and I add those purchases to the cart, and I can purchase these as I check out my shopping cart. We built this titles and document search functionality for businesses. So as you can expect, you can go into a business account and view previously searched documents, change permissions for who can purchase titles. You can also conduct company searches. Just thought I'd mention as well, we have an in-app messenger here. So if you require assistance while you're in the application or require support, just message us in here and one of the teams will get back to you really, really quickly. Finally, there's also one other very, very popular feature that I haven't demonstrated today. This is called our site finder tool. This is used frequently by real estate agents and developers. However, as an architect, you may be involved in site acquisition. You can use the site finder tool here to filter suburbs to look for sites with development potential. Well, that brings me to the conclusion of my demonstration. I'm going to hand the screen over to Will. We can't be in the same screen due to social distancing, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Sarah. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Will. Great to have you with us. Welcome to the program, and thanks for maintaining social distancing rules. I'm quite jealous. I haven't been into the office now for 27 weeks, so for you to be in your office is quite a thrill. Let's talk, first of all, before I launch into just a couple of questions, talk me through your background, Will. You're obviously Managing Director at You at Leaf. Talk us through a little bit of your sort of career in the architectural profession to date.
No worries. So Managing Director of You at Leaf. We have 40 architects and interior designers that work at You at Leaf. The business has been going for 11 years. Prior to founding You at Leaf, I worked in Shanghai for a year and a half and New Delhi on large airport projects. And that was for Woodhead, who are now GHD. So, that was an interesting time. And it's been a great journey at You at Leaf. Obviously, this last year's been quite an interesting time in itself, but we're forging through it, and I'm sure that a lot of architects will be encouraged, particularly in Melbourne. It appears that the case numbers are down, so hopefully we'll be all back in the office soon. Sounds
great. Look, Will, let's just run through a couple of questions just in relation to Landchecker. I mean, tell us why you created it.
It's a good question. I think a lot of architects will probably sympathise with the frustration that I was particularly having relative to the planning portals and sessions timing out, and there were sort of times when you wanted to throw the computer at the wall. But that was sort of the genesis of the idea, which was, could we create something that was more akin to a Google Maps interface with layers on top that you could roll around a map seamlessly and click on properties and get not just the planning information, but also commercial property data that you would otherwise be trawling through tens or 20s of websites. It was more about creating efficiency than anything else.
You started Landchecker back in 2015. How has it evolved and grown and been enhanced since your launch date?
Yeah, well, it started off as just an embryonic idea, and we had to go and validate that. Interviewed a lot of people, including architects, to sort of understand the use case and validate obviously my sort of thesis around it's saving time and money for not only architects but also other property professionals. And I guess since that initial launch, we've now grown our professional users to over 35,000. We're currently in Victoria and New South Wales, with Queensland soon to launch. It has evolved exponentially since we started, and we now have a team of 15 staff, and they're all local staff. And we love having that additional aspect to both the architecture and Landchecker businesses.
What's next for Landchecker? You talked about Victoria. It's obviously active. It's active in New South Wales. You're going into Queensland in a few weeks. What's next for you?
Well, I think next for us is to create a national product, and we're committed to doing that by mid next year. We are soon to launch Queensland, as I mentioned. We're really keen on creating a really affordable product for both architects and property professionals that allows them to have a say in what the next features are. And we pride ourselves on being able to listen to our customers and also work with them to create even more efficiencies within their workflow.
One thing, I'm just going through some of the chat comments. It's quite interesting. You would completely understand and appreciate that many of our members are really struggling financially at the moment. And while this caters probably more to residential development, my question to you is this. Sometimes members will only need to access Landchecker, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a year. But a number of our members are obviously, like a Netflix subscription or like anything else, having to pay month by month, even though the service isn't being used. So the question to you, Will, is there any way that Landchecker could offer some sort of small practice offer whereby the free version could be augmented with a paper site for additional features? Is that something that you're considering now that there's a very strong eye on affordability and survivability in many aspects for the architectural profession?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think we're very cognizant of the macroeconomic equation out there, and we want to be responsive to that. And one thing that we have sort of set up is a range of pricing options and a tiered pricing solution whereby people can opt in and opt out on a monthly basis. They don't necessarily have to be locked into huge contracts like some of the other map-based software providers out there. We're very as I said, cognizant of the fact that people have limited resources now from a financial point of view, and we want to work with those sole traders and smaller businesses to ensure that they're getting what they need at the time that they need it.
In terms of an opportunity for our members to explore the platform, I'm quite intrigued to have a quick peek at it because I want to see what my neighbours are up to with their planning development. I suppose the offer really to everybody on the call at the moment is that normally Landchecker Professional which obviously includes your high resolution photography, aerial imagery, etc., is normally $85 a month for a team of 5. But to assist our members at this time, there's a limited opportunity where members can get a 14-day free trial, and obviously through that get a 30% discount off that monthly rate when you pay up front for 12 months. So I'll put some comments in the chat about that. One of the other questions that's just come through privately, in terms of residential, we understand it. Does it work effectively for commercial development?
Yes, it does. So it takes into account all of the planning constraints. So direct feeds from the government database relative to both residential zone property, industrial zone property, rural zone property, and commercial.
Great. Okay. And a question from Leslie on the call. She says, look, well, does this also include historical maps such as MMBW, subdivision developments, and so on? What's your response?
So what we're working on at the moment is a database whereby we can create layers of historical zoning data, and obviously we do have planning permit data that dates back, in some instances 10 to 15 years. We have aerial imagery data that, as Sarah alluded to before, is probably the best catalogued database in the market, and as part of that, we can sort of, in some areas, I think in Sydney in particular, you can see the Harbour Bridge as it's getting built. So we're really keen to keep pushing that and getting more historical data, and that'll be only added to over time.
Perfect. All right. What I'm doing in the chat box for those of you online is just to say, look, to access Landchecker and all of our other member reward programs, we've got a number of them. Obviously, we had Dulux on quite recently. You can get your privilege card, which gives you a fantastic discount on Dulux paints, all of those sort of things. They are in our brand new member portal. For those of you who haven't looked in the member portal, we strongly recommend that you do. Just log in with your email address. So it's on there, members.architecture.com.au. Have a good look at the member rewards portal in there as well. And that's where you'll notice Landchecker. So just to confirm, normally, as I've mentioned, Landchecker Professional, which includes that imagery, is normally $85 a month for a team of 5. But for 14 days, you can get a total free trial. So make sure that you do have a good look at that, of course. And to access it, all you need to do is just email, and I'll put the email address in there as well, hello@landchecker.com.au, and just attach your member letter or member confirmation. They'll set up that free 14-day trial for you, so you can get a really good squiz around that program as well. A question as well, this is an interesting one. It's a unique program. It's definitely got a huge amount of benefits that our members can access. One of the cheeky questions that's come in is just in relation to, any sort of venture capitalists or hedge funds, any other sort of organisations been sniffing around to acquire Landchecker?
That'd be nice. No, I think we've got quite a varied shareholder base. We've got RACV own 14% of the business. Some people know that Kogan bought into the business at the beginning of last year, and look, I think we'll see what happens in the future, but our focus is around building the platform out nationally. Delivering a great product that's really affordable to our customer base, and listening to our customers to make sure that what we're doing is what they want.
There's been a number of questions coming in from our Queensland members based in Brisbane, Far North Queensland, SEQ, Southeast Queensland, of course. They're all asking the same question. Give us a date. When can we expect, or roughly expect, a date for the Queensland launch? They're keen, they're excited, they want to go and have a play.
Yeah, no, a couple of weeks. So you can hold me to that.
Okay, a couple of weeks. Okay, sounds good. And that's covering the entire state of Queensland? That's not just sort of, Brisbane and the Gold Coast, is it?
Yeah. No, we'll have the cadastre for all of Queensland. So you'll be able to get aerial imagery for all of that, and as well as titles. We're still slowly progressing all of the zones, but that'll be a large portion of the most populous areas of Queensland. Okay,
great stuff. Well, that sounds perfect. So just again to remember, a reminder to all of our members, if you haven't been onto our brand new member portal, it's incredible. It's just so much more user-friendly. We've launched it a few weeks ago. The majority of our members have been on it, but if you haven't been on it, make sure you go to members.architecture.com.au. The link is in the chat box. So do have a look at that, go in there, log in, and you can get access to a wide range of member benefits, from automotive right through to a lot of different suppliers and providers, including Landchecker as well. A question, another one that's just come in on fresh off the chat box from Winston. You've obviously got Victoria, you've got New South Wales. We go live in Queensland in 2 weeks. What about other states?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we're building out the other states at the moment, and we're aiming to have them all launched, in a sequence by the middle of next year.
Okay.
But in terms of, I think I saw that question pop up, and it looked like it was around whether the subscription covers all the states. So a single subscription, you don't get cut off at a border or anything like that. You can see all of the information on all the states.
Yeah, a text has just come in from one of my good architect mates who works in Albury and also works in Wodonga. So, going across 2 borders, it makes sense that, you're buying a national subscription. And many of our members do obviously work and are registered in, multiple states as well. So it does make perfect sense.
Yeah, We're not closing borders, so all good.
No, I'm sick of talking about border closures. But no, that sounds great, Will. Thank you very much. And so, of course, if any other members have any questions, don't forget to email Will and to email Sarah and the team at Landchecker. Go to hello@landchecker.com.au. Nice and easy to remember, hello@landchecker.com.au. They can obviously help with any questions that you might have. Get your free 14-day trial there as well. So don't hesitate to reach out. There's some questions coming in. They all just say thank you. It looks fantastic. I think people are keen to go and have a play. So and look at some of that high-res imagery. It's fantastic, especially the historical stuff. A lot of comments coming in just relate to the the sort of interest levels just to see what was there a few decades ago and stuff. So people are keen to go and have a look. But that's great. Thank you very much, Will, and thank you as well to Sarah for promoting Landchecker to us. What we'll do in future lean-ins is we're going to sort of start to highlight a number of our existing member rewards programs. Quite often, as a member, you sometimes overlook the fact that there are different opportunities and products and services that you might not be aware that they're available. So what we're trying to do is just do a bit of a showcase of some of the different options and services and offers that we've got for you as a valued member. So that's great. Thank you very much, Will. Great to see you. And no doubt you'll be back, and we hold you to the 2-week Queensland launch. We have a couple of thousand members up in Queensland, so I'm sure that they'll be coming knocking if in the next couple of weeks once you've got that program launched. But that's it for today. Just a nice brief one. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll catch up with you next Tuesday for everybody on the call as well, at our future lean-in at 12 noon as well. So until then, do stay safe, and look forward to catching you all soon. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Michael.